My name is Imran. I will be taking this DevOps demo for you, and I will be the instructor for the course. So let's begin. So I'm sure everybody here are looking to start your journey in DevOps, to be a DevOps engineer, consultant, architect, anybody who wants to work near or closely with DevOps. You could be from different background. You could be developer, you could be tester, a complete fresher, okay, new in the IT industry, you're experienced professional. Now, even if you're experienced professional, I want you to start from a fresh, with a clean slate, right? But I know you must have researched about from your own side also what is DevOps, and you must have found a lot of things, lot of tools, lot of technologies, and it confuses you, right? And you struggle in understanding DevOps, right? And you see every day new tools, technologies, concepts, process comes in, right, which confuses us more. But don't worry, you are not the only one. I would like to show you some reports from from survey, very popular survey. Okay, so uh, yeah, so Puppet is one of a big contributor in DevOps and conducts a survey every year, right? And it's Puppet has been doing that for like 10 years, so it's complete a decade. Wait a second, where is that? Oops. Yeah, a decade of DevOps. Yeah, I know it's been there from a long time. And don't worry, when you heard first about it, doesn't matter now. It matters that you are here, right? So before I get into and decode all those things for you, I want you to read some confusing terminologies. So check this out. This is from Puppet, right? DevOps is not automation and DevOps is not the cloud. Hmm. Confused, I know. Okay, wait, I'll confuse you more. Cloud and automation correlate with higher DevOps evolution. So kind of things, it's from Puppet itself, right? So both the terminologies confuses each with each other. Voice, what happened to my voice? You're not able to hear me?
We can hear you.
We are
Okay,
able to hear.
now I got some chat. All right, super. Okay, so I'm a kind of a person who believe on numbers and statistics, right? And I will show you some, right? But the reason the reason is not I want to confuse you by showing all this conflicting terms, but to show you how what really DevOps is. So we'll talk about that initially, first half an hour, what DevOps, and then we're going to talk about what we are going to cover. All right. So all right, some more statistics, some more from survey from Atlassian. This is from Atlassian. Okay, Atlassian is also one of the very big provider in DevOps, very big contributor in DevOps, and this is Atlassian survey, and uh, this is the sentence which I really love. I tell that every demo, everyone. It's been a long time, a decade, right? And DevOps was not a corporate term. I mean, there was no like kind of a designation or, it was, you can say kind of, not kind of designation, but now it's a corporate term, right? So which is great thing because we're very confused terminology. So that's why it was not a corporate term, but now it is. And I'm really happy for that. More than half of organizations have been practicing DevOps for over 3 years, which is actually not so surprising for me. 90% said that DevOps has direct impact in their business metrics. So if you are DevOps, you are definitely going to impact the business. But here is the interesting one. Read this. The obstacles, right? 85% have faced barriers. Why? Well, lack of skills, legacy infrastructure, and adjust the corporate culture. You have to repeat yourself. Oh my God. The lack of skill is one of the biggest problem that I have seen in DevOps. I've been training people in DevOps from past what? And before that also I used to train people on Linux and other things. I was always interested in, training and, empowering people with the knowledge that I have with me. So I have been observing this lack of skill problem from a very beginning, and it's still there, and I don't know it's gonna go how long. But that's one biggest problem in DevOps. People really don't understand DevOps, and that's why they coin DevOps from their own perspective, right? So we know one problem in DevOps implementation is a lack of skills, right? And legacy infrastructure, which is actually an side effect of lack of skills. People don't know about the latest, containers and cloud and stuff, and they still use the legacy infrastructure. So that also, I think, comes in the lack of skill section. And that's what you're here for, right? That's what I wanted to show you. Now, there are many surveys. I will send you some links. You'll get through the mails, go through it, reports, read it, and make your own, analysis. Anyways, let's start now. Let's continue. So my name is Imran Teli. You can find me on LinkedIn also. I am a trainer, consultant, YouTube content creator. I wear different hats. I have been experienced in this IT industry for more than 11 years now, and I've been working in DevOps from 2013. Exactly DevOps, I want to say, but before that also automation and cloud and all I started working on. And I am certified into different areas in Red Hat. I'm a Red Hat architect, certified in Ansible, OpenStack, Gluster, OpenShift, Kubernetes, Puppet, and in AWS, SysOps, DevOps professional, and security specialist. In distance past, I did some other certification like VCP, RHC, Python from EDX, and DevOps Foundation. And the list goes on, but here I'm just showing you the one that really matters, right? And if I know you must be having a question about certification as well, but we'll clear that later, right? So now training people in DevOps, cloud computing, containers, Kubernetes, it's all about my passion. It's not just some part-time work. I'm also a creator, content creator, and I really love sharing the knowledge that I have with me with others to empower others. All right, so why should you learn DevOps, right? I think you must have already made up your mind, or if you're still not made up your mind, I'll give you some 3 good reasons that I tell every time. Maybe it is boring, but that should make up your mind, I think. So DevOps is one of the top skills we know for sure, and we can check it from the survey. I'm going to give you this slide. You can check it, the link, which shows the DevOps forecast, which is going to grow 20. It's growing 25% per year. That's crazy, 25% per year compound annual growth rate. Anyways, you can just go through it and see, because some people say DevOps is just a bubble, it's going to just blow and then it's going to be gone, and I'm hearing that from 10 years and still here, and it's just flourishing, growing. Anyways, it's also one of the highly paid job, and the reason for that is uh, because of the lack of skills. Wherever you have the skilled candidate, people are ready to pay more money, right? And the reason for all these things is because of the third reason. Every company wants to do a faster software delivery, and that's why they want to have DevOps. Now DevOps delivery, it's very related, you can relatable terms. Think of software as any other product. Let me mute everyone. Think of software, right, that which developer creates the software apps which we use just as any other product, like, and there is an industry, a plant to manufacture a product. Just manufacturing a product is not enough, right? I mean, it's not at all enough. You need to deliver it, then only you can make the business, you can make the money, the business will grow. If you're not able to deliver it quickly and efficiently, then you won't make money. So delivery is super important, right? In software also, same thing. If the software is created, you have apps, but if you're not able to deliver it on time properly, then you have problem. Okay, if the delivery is late, if there are errors while delivering the software and apps, right, you lose the business doesn't grow. So DevOps is here to solve the delivery problem of the softwares. Yeah, and anybody who is involved into creating and delivering the software needs DevOps. So who needs DevOps? Well, everyone needs DevOps in the IT industry, every company, every IT industry, right? Because everybody wants to make and grow in the business fast, right? So DevOps enables that, the quick delivery of the softwares. Not only quick, also efficient. And so because of that reason, people needs DevOps, everyone needs DevOps, and there are lack of skills. People needs more and better candidate, and they're ready to pay more. That's why it's one of the top skills. All right, so why me? I don't want to bore you to death,
Imran?
but a few points. Yes.
Yeah, sorry for the interruption. Actually, I'm from basically from finance, accounting and finance background. So how it
Rishi,
will
can you please
helpful
take
for?
your question at the end? I will go through this entire demo. You will understand what is DevOps and who can work on it, and then I'm going to take all of your questions.
Sure, sure, Imran. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So I have trained thousands and thousands of candidates. I've never kept a count, but recently I started keeping count. And anytime I have like thousands of students that I train in DevOps. Um, and the reason of my success is I focus on the real-time implementation of DevOps. Not just this is a tool, install it, run this program, hello world. No, I will show you how you can take an application from a scratch, deploy it to production environment, okay, automate it, do CI/CD, all that in real time, right? And personally, I don't like this question. You are showing me how to do this, but how is it done in real time? Well, whatever I'm going to show you, that's how it is going to be done in real time, and this whole course is about that. Okay, my training methodology is based on that factor, right? The real time implementations. Sure, the scale will be smaller because we don't want to spend thousands of dollars in the infrastructure, right? The scale is smaller, but it's the same thing. And I will teach you how to excel in the software delivery, which is what every company really wants you to do. They want you to make their software delivery better, faster. That's what your job being DevOps is. So I will show you how you can excel in software delivery by using different techniques and mechanisms, right? I'll show you how multiple technologies work together, and that's one of the biggest problem that I see with people. When I say lack of skills, mostly this is the problem. People just learn tool, but they don't know how to connect these tools together, right? How to complete that delivery cycle. And that's the biggest problem. So then you will have one person who experienced in one tool, other person experienced in cloud, the other person experienced in something else, and then it's just kind of a mesh. Anyways, I will show you how all these things work together. So don't worry, so many tools you must have seen, but by the end of the course you will be able to see any tool and understand, okay, this fits here and I have to do like this with this tool, right? Any new tools also comes in, you should be able to learn it and implement it in your CI/CD pipelines, right, in your infrastructure. So I'll show you that. And I have really put a lot of efforts in creating the practicals, the exercises, projects. I will show you everything how to do in real time, in live, right? And many times I have shown this people to the audience, and they really like it because when they do it themselves, they like it, right? And there'll be assignments and documentation, interview questions, and many material that I have created so far. And last thing, guys, I'm really very passionate about training. So that's why me. All right, and I'm here for you. While we are learning, you must be having problems and doubts and questions. You can ask me anytime in the class. All right. All right, so what exactly is DevOps? Let's quickly decode this. I'm not going to take much of your time in this. I know you must have gone through so much of material already. This is DevOps, that is DevOps. So hear it from my side, from my perspective, right, in few 15 minutes or so, and then we'll talk about what we're going to cover in this course. All right. So confusing terminologies, right? And plus, I have shown you in the beginning that DevOps is not automation, DevOps is not cloud. Then the same puppet survey showing you that cloud and automation, is a big factor in DevOps. So kind of confusing, right? So what is the real explanation of DevOps? That's what we'll try to understand now. All right, so I'm going to set a little stage over here and bring in some characters and explain you what is DevOps. And I have created an animated video also for that. It's on YouTube. I will send you the link also for that. Okay? So as I said, consider software for now as any other product. Right? If you see food factory, uh, discovery history, it's been long time I've not seen it, right? Food factory, there is a show, right? They show you how the food, let's say chips or anything like gets from the raw material, how the chips are created, how it's packaged, and how it is delivered. all those things it's shown. So imagine software like that, right? Like a product, right? Someone wants to create. So what happens? The entire flow and how it is delivered to the user, what are the problems are faced, that we'll see in few minutes. So anything starts with an idea, right? So let's take Betty. Okay, she has an inspiring idea. She is good with arts. She creates, art documents, art pieces, paintings and stuff, and she's into arts, and she's pretty popular in the local market. She has exhibitions and all, and she sells her product in the local market, and she's quite popular, and she thinks that, I can expand my business, and why not have a mobile app so people can order the product from anywhere. They can see, they can order from anywhere. Typical e-commerce business, right? So everyone knows in today's time, at least, mobile apps, for everything you have mobile apps today, right? So she thinks that she wants to create a mobile app, but she has no idea about it. She's into arts, not into IT or computers, right? To create a mobile app, she will need a team of developers, testers, system admin, the whole the IT, right? So she has two options. She can either create her own organization, or she can go to a software consulting firm who creates and distributes the software. So she goes to a software consulting firm and explains the idea. Now, this is my idea. I want to create an app for my product, right? And now let's go through some concepts, right? So this is where the idea started. Now something will start, which is called as a software development process. If you're from a CS background, you would know what is this, right? But if you're not, okay, sit tight. Let me explain you the software development life cycle. So the first step in a software development lifecycle is requirement gathering. All the requirements will be collected, the product requirement, user requirement, right? All the requirement that he is giving will be collected. The user requirement, system requirement, all those things will be collected. Based on that, second phase will start, which is planning. So based on the requirement, uh, everything will be calculated, like what will be the cost for this product, what are the resources required, what are the risks associated with it. The planning will be conducted. Second phase. Third step, you have design. The architects, by looking at the plan, they will design, right? Create the design document. Like you have a house architect who gives you design documents. Nowadays you have 3D models and all, right? Like that, software architects will create design documents, um, which is basically a roadmap for the developer in the fourth step to develop the product. This is where the actual development starts, the work starts. I mean, the product development start. So based on the roadmap, developer starts writing the code and starts creating the software, and thousands and thousands of lines of codes are written to create a product. And before it is delivered to the user, to the actual user, there will be quality assurance, QA, you must have heard, or testing, software testing, that will be conducted. So just to make sure that any bugs, any defects, if they're in the product, can be removed, right? And when the product checks out fine, then it will be deployed to the servers and will be distributed to the users. So from where the actual user can use it. Like you use any mobile app, it will be living on some server, right? And you say, no, I downloaded it on my phone. That's just the front end part, right? But the actual software lives on some servers. And then it's the responsibility of the ops team to maintain those servers, and the software should be always up and running. And there will be regular maintenance also. There will be regular changes, regular, it needs to be always up and running. Based on different requirement of the user or bug fixes, there will be changes in the product. You must have seen an app that you must be using would have changed a lot from in few years, right? All right, so let's see this whole process in a cyclic view, right? First, you have requirement gathering. uh, Let me open the mouse highlighter, just a moment. Okay, so first step is requirement gathering, then planning, designing. Architects will design the product, developers will develop the product, testing is going to test the product, and ops team is going to deploy and maintain. So you see already there are different people, different job roles involved in this entire process, right? So which is nice, right? And this is called as SDLC, software development life cycle. Okay, SDLC. Now there are different models in SDLC. Now from here things will change. You have gone through SDLC, but now you will see a little shift and change in what are the problems that comes in and how it can be solved. So in SDLC you have different models: waterfall model, agile model, spiral, big bang. Think of these different models as different roadways to reach the same destination. You have different roadways to reach the same destination. How will you select one? You will select based on various factors, right? By the time, right? Cost, risk. Based on various factors, you'll select a route and you will go to that route and you will reach your destination, right? So like that, there are different models that will be chosen based on the requirement. So we're going to talk about two models here, waterfall and agile. We're going to compare them and we're going to see the problem. So waterfall model same like SDLC as you have seen it, but waterfall model works in phases. So one phase is completed, requirement gathering is completed, everything, then it moves to the next phase. Then design. Completely the product is designed, then it will be moved to the next stage, implementation, which is actually the developers writing the code, right? When that is completed, then it goes to the next stage. I don't want you to bore till the end, but see, this is waterfall called for a reason, because water just falls down, water doesn't go backwards, right? What that means, well, if I have some new changes, new requirement, we cannot go back here. It's only moving forward, right? And it may take months to deliver a product, right? And it cannot accommodate regular changing requirements. And today's time, things are changing so rapidly, so it's impossible to predict that. Let's say it took 6 months to develop a product, so it's impossible to predict what's going to be market in 6 months. I mean, not impossible, but difficult, right? So you should have a place where you can inject new ideas while the development is going on. So coming back to our story, Betty, she has no idea about IT and softwares and nothing. She's saying that I'm not sure about all the requirements. I would like to observe the product development and I would like to alter things while it is moving. So definitely waterfall model cannot be used in this situation. So the product manager decides not to use waterfall and not work into phases, but divide the whole requirement into different iterations, right? An iteration could be 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Okay, iteration basically is the list of requirement that needs to be developed in this time span, right? So on this time span only that much work will be done and it will be demonstrated. If this is good, then it moves to the next iteration, right? Then next iteration. So instead of working in phases, here you have iterations. This is called as agile. That's what we do in agile, right? We don't work on everything at once. We break down the problem, right? And there will be a time frame, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or 4 weeks. Okay, not less than 2, not more than 4. In every iteration you will have the designing, development. Mostly it will be development, testing, deploy and maintain, but some places you will have the requirement changing. So this can be in every iteration, right? And best part here is, in every, after completing of every iteration, this is called as, this is also called as scrum, sprint. My bad, sorry. This is also called a sprint. So I'm going to use a word called sprint. When I say sprint, understand that means this time span. Okay, sprint. So each sprint, when it is completed, it will be demonstrated, and user, owner, client, customer will give the ideas, and that can be changed in the next iteration, right? So if Betty has new ideas or she wants to remove some old features that she does not like, right, it can be done in the next iteration, right? So you have the most important thing over here, feedback loop in agile, right? Okay, slight concepts, little bit technical, not too much. um, while this is going on, right, something called build and deploy process happens very regularly. Build and deploy really means, the code is there, the developer writes the code, that will be built, Build as in from the code, the software is created. That software is deployed to the developer's testing environment, maybe their own laptop, their own computer, or some other computer like that. So it will be deployed, and out of multiple build, whichever developer likes, they will promote it to the next level, which will be staging environment, not production, pre-production staging environment. Here it will be tested more, and if everything is good, then it will be promoted to production. All right, so don't worry about what is staging and blah blah blah. Just uh, from the code, the software is created and it will be deployed to different servers, different computers for testing purposes, right? And software testers will be in charge, will be also involved into this activity. They'll be testing the softwares, and many times the software testers are not able to access the machine, or it doesn't work. They're not, the test cases fails, right? For many reasons. And if the deployment is failed, it will be considered as operations problem. Okay, so development team will reach to the operations team that, hey, you have deployed the software to the servers, but it is not working. We are not able to access it, or there are some problems, or it will be the other way. Operations team will tell to the development team that your product is not working on the server, right? So, and this happens very regularly. So what went wrong? We will understand that. But somehow it is patched and moved to the production. And in production also, sometimes, many times actually, things fail. And this is the biggest problem here. A developer will say it's not my problem because it worked in my environment, right? We've seen this, right? It works in the developer's environment, works in the staging. So developer will say, hey, it worked in my machine, it's not working in your machine, so it's your problem, not my problem, right? Or is it really their problem? Or is it really because of operations team made mistakes? Who knows? There are many reasons. Some of the reasons that I want to highlight, oops, where did it go? Okay, some of the reasons that I want to highlight is, which personally I've also felt. There's a huge difference between the development and production environment. And the two environments are very different. They have different data. They are not synchronized regularly. They have different software versions, different library versions, right? They're not regularly maintained and synced. And that is the way, that is the reason if it's working in dev environment, it's not a guarantee it's going to work in production. This happens all the time, everywhere, every time. It works in their laptop, it doesn't work when you deploy it to server, right? uh, and I'll come to one more reason for that. But also one more problem that I have seen is, the developers have become very fast now. I've seen that over a decade. The new tools, technologies, the new way of development, the agile process has made development very fast, but the operation team is not able to cope up, right? And because of that, mistakes happens. Production servers always keep in mind, okay, production servers may need some kind of changes after your deployment or before the deployment. You need to get right information from the developers, right? So there could be OS level change, some software versions change, there could be network security level change, right? Like firewall rules change and many things. The biggest problem is there are no clear instruction. Developer has no clue about operations, and they will just say, hey, this is my code and it is working, just deploy it. And this is called as tossing the code over the wall. So there's no clear instruction, what versions they are using, what port numbers your service is running on. They don't have idea about that. And ops team will deploy, figure it out based on their experience, and they'll deploy, and obviously things will break then. So there are many reasons. One important takeaway from here is there are no clear instruction. Communication problem is the biggest problem. Okay, let's finalize this. Okay, so there'll be regular code changes because of agile, faster development, because the word agile itself means quick and fast, right? So in agile you have regular code changes, regular deployments, and regular testing. It's going to go on and on and on, right? And there'll be too many deployments that comes to the operations team, and they are not able to cope up with these many changes. One thing doesn't work, the other comes, right? And developers are going to go with quick changes, but ops team is going to go with their own methodology, which is ITIL. Right? Developers are agile, but operations team is ITIL driven. ITIL is a it's a complete like a government process, right? If you want to get approval of something, you want to make some changes, you need to take approval from multiple teams, and need to be scheduling the change. So ops team will be slow because of the process they have, not because they are slow in typing or slow in understanding. It's because of the process, right? They need to maintain the system uptime all the time. There'll be regular deployment request with that without clear instruction. They're so much occupied with the production environment, so it's difficult for the operations team to cope up with these regular changes, right? As coming back to story, Betty is suffering because of this problem, because it was promised that she will be seeing uh, the product, but there are problems with it, and project manager has passed the deadline, and this starts to development versus operation before DevOps, right? So few important points here. Remember, developers are agile, they want quick delivery, right? Quick changes, but operations team is ITIL driven, and they want stability, and these are poles apart, right? And as I said, there is a popular saying in DevOps, tossing the code over the wall. That really means, hey, this is my code, I'm done, and just deploy it on the server without proper instructions, right? And the reason because of the reason for this is because dev doesn't understand the ops side, and the other side also, ops doesn't understand the development, right? So this problem goes on, and because of this, the customer and the client really suffers, right? uh, this time, let's say Betty has brought some new customers and client, right? And some new customers to show the product, and it errored out, it's not working. It's a big embarrassment for Betty, right? And she's now very unhappy because of this problem, right? Just give me some time, Om Prakash. I'm just wrapping up, few minutes, we're done almost. So unhappy customer means business loss. This is the delivery problem I want to show you. This whole story I'm telling you to show you that there is a delivery problem, and why the delivery problem is there. Because our dev and ops team doesn't work together very well. Because of that, there is a delivery problem. Because of that, there is business loss. Now, let's say Om Prakash is the head of the company, okay? And he wanted to fix the problem. Let's say maybe CTO. Okay, I wanted to fix this problem. And he remembers he attended an agile conference where someone was talking about DevOps first time. The first person who coined this word DevOps was Patrick DeBois. He worked in development and operations side both, and he said that this is from 2009, the story that I'm telling you, 2009. So he said, the agile started, and the development has become fast, but the operations team is still slow. Ops is still waterfall. And Om Prakash remembered that, and he said, why not get someone who knows DevOps and who can change things? And he gets a DevOps consultant. So enter the DevOps, and let's see how the DevOps can fix the problem. So let's take someone's name from the chat. Okay, who is that? Gufran, you're back. Okay, and let's take Anil. I was looking for a short name, small name. So let's say Anil, who is the DevOps consultant, right? And he promises that he's going to fix all the problems, skyrocket the business, and just it's going to be really awesome. The full pack of awesomeness comes here. Okay, Anil, the DevOps consultant, right? But Anil, the DevOps consultant, doesn't have a magic wand to fix the problem all of a sudden. uh, he will bring, first thing is he brings in all the parties together, the development head, the operations head, and everybody, dev and ops team. And he says that the DevOps is starts from communication first. You have to, the teams needs to communicate, collaboratively work together, and integrate everything together, so this becomes a flawless delivery cycle. Now is that, well, first he approaches the development team, he explains the concept of stability, operations, he explains what is ops, how it works, what are servers, and blah blah blah, right? And he goes to the ops team and he explains the concept of agility, that hey, you are being very slow, you need to be a little fast. Okay, this is the agile world now, right? So you need to do faster delivery, faster deployments, right? He makes sure both parties understands each other. And automation, yes, automate what, everything. Okay, he approaches every team involved in the delivery cycle, everyone, developers, testers, database, security, everyone, and he says you need to automate everything. Whatever you're doing manually, it needs to be automated. I remember in 2013, this movement started. I was working in a company and they was like, automate, automate, automate everything. And then there was training and all those things, the Python, Puppet, and SaltStack, and many things we were getting trained on and implementing. I was already very excited because I loved automation. I was doing it bash scripts, but now I was doing it with, Python and Puppet and SaltStack. It was very exciting time. I remember that. It was very, fresh, lot of energy, and wanted to do contribute something big. I did also a few things very nicely. Anyways, so automate, automate, automate everything. Automate what are you doing manually, automate, right? So every team, this is for every team: ops, developers, build and release, security, DB, everyone, storage. So many things are there, guys. You have code build process that needs to be automated, code testing process, software testing process, infrastructure level changes, OS level changes, cloud level changes, deployments when the software is delivered to the server, right? Basically everything needs to be automated, right? And what do we do then, right? Well, once everything is starts automating, then both the parties can start and working together, development and ops team, right? All those things that are automated can be connected together, right? So our team, the Avengers, now it is nowhere close to Avengers. So our team, the entire team who's involved into the development and delivery. So developer, build and release, tester, system admin, database admin, everybody will be working together, automating everything, and finally, and not finally, slowly integrating everything together. Right? I'll show you what does integration mean here, right? But understand first, communication, collaboration, integration. So integration, and this part is a regular process. It's not like first you communicate, then you collaborate, then you integrate. So it's going to be a continuous process: daily communication, daily collaboration, and daily integration, and until finally you get a DevOps life cycle. What is DevOps life cycle? Well, here it is. They together created a DevOps life cycle. It's a completely automated process where when the developer writes the code, the developer commits it into a software repository, right? And that will be automatically fetched and built. Once the build is completed, the product will be tested. The code test will be there, unit test, integration test. This is all automated process, okay? Different automated part connected together. Once that is completed, code analysis. There will be many different kinds of tests that will happen. So don't worry about these terminologies. We'll understand all of them. Just understand that different automation steps that are connected together. So code analysis, then delivery of the software. Once the software is tested and created and tested, it will be delivered to the servers. Any database and security related change, sorry, tongue freeze there. Any DB or security or any other kind of changes or OS level changes or infrastructure level changes, that will be also changed automatically. Okay, and then software testing will be conducted automatically. Right, so this one triggers the other, the one triggers the other, right? It's like the dominoes effect, but instead of falling, it's coming up. And then it will be deployed to production automatically. Then the user traffic can be directed to the new environment. If everything is good, users approves everything, then just keep monitoring, right? This is the DevOps life cycle. I'll show you in a cyclic view also, but take a moment and just go through this. I'll mute myself for a minute.
So Imran, are we going to see this in like practical basis for user approval and all these things?
I'm sorry, come again?
This DevOps lifecycle, we are doing
Mm-hmm.
end to end this one in our next lab session, means when the training will start, right?
Right. Right.
User approval, go lives, and all this we are going to see, right?
Right. User approval and all can be automated through notification system also, or there is actually difference between continuous delivery and continuous deployment, which I'll make you understand when we do CI/CD. And you will see we have both things, deploying to production automatically or waiting for the user approval. Both we can do.
Because generally in production environment, user code review and user approval is required for to deploy them.
Yeah, I know. I will change that mindset. That is a typical ITIL process. So there are differences. You may have that, you may not have that, depends on many factors. So we will talk about that when we set up the CI/CD. I will tell you at this time you can do this, or this time you cannot do this, like that.
Okay.
All right. So let's wrap it up now. All right, so this is similar, same DevOps lifecycle, but I have just thrown some tools over here. This is a very popular diagram on the internet, courtesy to the person who created it. I have just thrown some tools over here, right, in that document, in this picture. So Git, Jenkins, Docker, Nexus, AWS, Ansible. You don't need to know these tools already, right? But if you already know these tools, let's take a look. They fit into different places. There needs to be connected together, and that's what we will be learning. Not just the tools, but how to also connect them together, right? And why to connect, basically, that also. Right. So this is the whole DevOps lifecycle, and there are many tools that you need to use. And again, it's not just about tool changes. It's about the life cycle, and you may have different tools. All right. So a DevOps definition that I personally like is this one. DevOps is the philosophy of unifying development and operations team at culture, practice, and tools level. Right, this is the definition that I like, but there are many definitions. I always say don't go on definition, focus on the objective. Okay, focus on the objective. We'll talk about why bash scripting is used in a moment. All right, so what are the skill set that you need today to be a DevOps? What do you need to have to create that DevOps lifecycle? First thing, remember, you are not going to create that entire lifecycle by yourself. You will need help of different teams. That's why there is collaboration and integration. For example, you cannot do, maybe you are not a software tester, so you don't know how to do software testing. So, but there are software testers. They're going to automate that process. You should know how to integrate. That's your main skill, guys. Integration, orchestration, that's your main skill. Of course, you need to learn a lot of automation, but there are many places where you won't be doing everything by yourself. All right, but still these are the skill set that you need to have in today's time. You need to be a better communicator and collaborator. You need to communicate and collaborate. Systems knowledge, operating systems knowledge, especially Linux. I say that all the time. Linux. Please learn Linux, everybody. Infrastructure knowledge. You should have idea about, servers, storage, network, how these things work together, virtual machines, cloud computing. Without this, really, you are you if you don't know infrastructure side, right, you're really a paralyzed DevOps. I have seen many paralyzed DevOps, okay, and trust me, they're horrible to work with. So you should have the operations knowledge. You should have this, definitely. Cloud computing skills. I know I should have confused you initially, right? Do I need to know cloud computing, or don't need to know? It's not, cloud computing is not DevOps. That's what I wanted to say. We use a lot of cloud computing in DevOps. That's because we can do a lot of automation in cloud computing environment. Physical environments, obviously you cannot automate, right? But cloud computing, virtual machines, virtual storage, everything is virtual, so you can code it, automate it. That's why cloud computing is leveraged a lot in DevOps. But cloud computing is not DevOps. It's the infrastructure, right, where your application will be living, where your software will be living. Okay, development SDLC, you should understand. Okay, when we go into, version control, build, CI/CD, you will understand these concepts. But I think if you know a developer, start talking with them, right? Understand more how they work, what do they do. That's very important. Build and release automation, which is also called as continuous integration, right? The build and release process, where they fetch the code, build the code, and deploy it to the before the deployment of the server. Automation of OS task. Okay, mandatorily you should know this. How to automate any operating system related task, installing packages, changing configuration stuff. Orchestration, you should know how to connect these multiple dots together. That's called as also continuous delivery process, right? Network and security knowledge, cloud computing, containers, Docker. Today's time, you definitely need to have the networking knowledge. Without that, again, you are a paralyzed DevOps. Okay, so and all those things we're going to talk about that. So these are the skill set that you need. I'm going to send you the slide, and sure, there are many more skill set, but this is a summary of skill set that you need. Summary. Okay, these are not all the skill set. I'm not talking about tools over here. Okay.
Imran, sorry to interrupt you. This is Rajaram. So if,
Yes.
yeah, so all these skill set like networking, Linux, and all this, there might be a person who will be not don't have the knowledge on all these skills.
Right.
So how he can like
He or she needs to learn it, man.
okay.
There is no way. Okay.
So
So you are.
operating system.
It's like you want. I'll give you an example. It's like I want to. I know how to fly an aeroplane, right? A plane or a charter plane, but I don't know how to land it. So you have to learn it, right? Otherwise, nobody's going to sit on your. There will be no passengers for you, right?
Yes, understood. But the thing is that the OS automation and all these things. So one question in the mind, the person who is like just pass out for college or he want to do some kind of
Yeah,
DevOps
I'm
kind of
going to
thing.
cover that. Don't worry. Sit
So,
tight. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, we are done. I'm going to talk about the course coverage now. Okay.
okay, okay, man, thank you.
Yeah. All right. So I always say do it like a pro, like a professional. So we have a project, vProfile app, and there's also now one more project in the making. Not making, it's already done. That also I will show you. vProfile project we have, which is a Java based project, and there are multiple services in that. We have Nginx, Tomcat, RabbitMQ, Memcache, MySQL, MongoDB, Elasticsearch. Don't worry, you don't need to know all this. I'm just showing you the scale. There'll be many services in our product. So this is going to be your product. Okay, and on this product, you are going to do all the DevOps experiment. You're going to set it up on VMs, on the cloud, do CI/CD for it, do containerization, Kubernetes deployment, all those things you're going to do for this product, right? That's how you're going to learn DevOps. Okay, so quickly we'll go through all the steps. Don't worry, I'm going to send you all these slides so you can go through it later also. But first step is basics of Linux and server management in Linux, Vagrant, which is virtual machine automation tool, some basics of networking, and then a project deployment on your laptop, on your computer locally. This is your ground zero. If you already know this, good, awesome. You can join after a week also. But if you don't know this, you are a fresher, you're a software developer, you are QA, right? You are non-IT person. This is the most critical phase for you, the first step, the most important one. You need to be very, very, what do you say? I'm not finding the right word. Very, very passionate about this first step. You need to like do it multiple times, these exercises, and practice whatever I'm going to give it to you. You need to be really hardcore in this. Your basics should be very strong. Okay, I will tell you 99% of the people who are facing problem in DevOps while they're doing DevOps is because of their basic knowledge. Yes, because of the basic knowledge only. Okay, if your basics are strong, then you can learn any tool and technology. So first 10 days or so, right, 1 week or 10 days or so will be very basics, and you need to be very good with this one. You need to practice it a lot. All right. The second step will be starting with cloud computing. You will see what is cloud computing and what is AWS, and you are going to see many AWS services like IAM, EC2, EBS, ELBs, S3, CloudWatch, RDS, Autoscaling, Route 53, ACM. Okay, these are not it. Okay, we have few more AWS services later, but once you do these services, once you learn these AWS services, then we are going to move our product, migrate our product to cloud. from local to cloud. And that's where you will see, how the real-time things works. And this is where
So
actually we'll start the actual real-time work.
using any migration tool in this to migrate this local this one to AWS?
Can you please wait for 5 minutes? I'll just wrap this up and you can ask me the questions.
Okay, sorry, man. Sorry to disturb you.
Not sorry, but just we are almost done. So I can just then take all the questions, right?
Okay, okay,
You
man.
don't need to be sorry for that. You can ask question. It's just that just wait for five
No, no.
minutes.
Actually, I feel I am disturbing your flow, so that.
That's fine. That's fine. All right. Okay. So we migrated to the cloud, and that's where you feel the real-time experience, right? The load balancing, the security, the HTTPS, but it's not it. And the second part of AWS, we have few more things. So this is first part of AWS. Third step, we are going to start learning CI/CD, like Git, Maven, and we're going to learn Jenkins very much in depth. Jenkins is one of the most used tools in this course. So we'll see how to build, test, deploy, do CI/CD, master slave concept, Jenkins administration, and obviously the CI/CD we're going to do for our product. Right. Step 4 is for people who are not good or does not have idea about programming. Okay, do you need to know programming? Actually, yes. Okay, but don't worry, it's not going to be that programming, it's just going to be some scripting. Okay. So first we're going to take bash scripting, where I will show you how you can automate your regular day-to-day task by using bash scripts. I think you should really know bash scripts. Many people say, hey, we have many tools nowadays, we don't need to do bash scripting and all. But this really gives you the idea of automation at the OS level, right? And many places where you can quickly get things done by doing bash scripts. Anyways, the reason of taking bash scripting is so you get a knowledge of automation through scripts. Then Python scripting, we'll be doing some Python programming basics, very basics. Okay, don't worry. And you will also see how to do some automation by using Python, right? And all this we are doing not for automation. Yes, you will also learn how to automate with this, but the main reason is so you can learn the next steps, which is Ansible. Ansible is one of the most popular automation tool in DevOps, and this also one tool where we're going to spend a lot of time. So we will be seeing how to do OS automation and cloud automation by using Ansible. Many things you will see in Ansible, right? uh, and if you don't have a knowledge of programming or scripting, then this is a very complicated tool. But if you have the knowledge, which we are going to cover in step 4, then this is awesome tool. Okay, it's very easy to learn if you have some programming background. And there'll be JSON and YAML and all those things coming after this. That's why we are doing bash and Python first, and then we move here. All right. Okay, then AWS comes back again. Second part of AWS, we're going to get into VPC, which is a networking service in depth, log management, custom metrics, CloudWatch, AWS CLI, Beanstalk, RDS. You'll be saying, if you don't know AWS, you'll be saying, what are these? Don't worry, this is just another way of setting up your application on AWS cloud. Another way, well, there are different ways based on different requirement. You may need to have different skills. Here also you're going to learn again CI/CD, but this time it's going to be from AWS services. Nice. Here we're going to talk in depth about security, networking, high availability, all those amazing concepts, right? So once you're done with the second part of AWS, then we are going to go with Docker and Kubernetes. That's going to be the final phase of our course. This is the latest and greatest in DevOps in today's time. So in DevOps, I'm saying, but Docker is there from 2013, 14. Anyways, so we'll be learning Docker, not sorry, not Dockers, Docker. You will see the basic of Docker, and you will see how to containerize the project, move a project from a normal environment to a containerized environment. We'll be seeing that. Then we'll be getting into Kubernetes. We'll see how to set up Kubernetes for production, and many Kubernetes objects you will be seeing in this course. This specific time from this batch onwards, I have exceeded the amount of time for Kubernetes and the amount of services objects that I take in Kubernetes, right? Just looking at the market. It's a huge requirement on Kubernetes. So little more on Kubernetes and some suggestion also I will be giving you later, that what to do after this course and all. Right. All right. So that completes the course, guys. And step 8, these are optional. I have some Terraform videos that I have created, and AWS securities videos and CloudFormation videos. I will give that to you. It will be uploaded in your portal. You'll have a portal access. From there you can watch these videos and learn more technologies. Okay, some Kubernetes videos that I am creating which are optional, so that also you'll be seeing. All right, and here I'm wrapping it up. The course USP, guys, I focus on real-time implementation and use project to implement your skills. And EKS is not included. I will show you how to use EKS, but it's pretty expensive. It's very easy to set up EKS, man. It's just 2 commands and boom, EKS is there. Once you learn Kubernetes, EKS you can set up, but it's very expensive. Okay, so focus on real-time implementation. You'll have project to implement your skill. We're going to do assignments, and we're going to collaborate through Google Classroom. And really, you have a lot of materials in this course. All right, so this is the whole course USP, and whatever I've shown you what is DevOps and course content and everything. I will send you all this slide, and this video will be uploaded on YouTube also, so you can watch it from there as well. And if now you can ask me questions. Okay, so let's go to the Q&A part.
So,
Hey,
how
hi
many
Imran.
projects?
This is Mr. Dasmi.
Yes.
Imran, I just wanted to know how we will be migrating the legacy servers to the AWS. Which tools are we using for migration while learning this cloud computing?
There are different strategy of migration. There's lift and
Yeah,
shift, which we are not going to do. That
yeah.
involves VM import export services. We will be doing a re-architecturing, which we'll be setting up another infrastructure, which will be much better, easier, and
Okay.
we'll be having less operations overhead. So that I will show you. But migration is not always what people really think about. It's not like literally take it and put it over there. The most of the part will be built on the cloud, and the data,
Right,
these things will be migrated. So that's what
right.
we will be
Only the
seeing.
storage part and the basic information and the applications get moved, right? Once we create the
Yeah, the
architecture.
basically
So, yeah,
configuration and data, these two things are moved. But
right.
cloud gives you services that
Mhm.
you can migrate the entire VM from your infrastructure to cloud, but that is unnecessary most of the time that I have seen. But
Yeah, yeah.
they provide you the service for that.
Okay. So we will be covering all this, right, in this course.
Not that much. I will be talking about the strategy, and we'll be doing re-architecturing. Okay, that is the migration we'll be doing. And
Okay.
also
So
we will be
that
doing
means you will be
containerization.
moving the data to S3, right?
Yeah, obviously,
That
all
means the
those data.
storage part. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the only question I have.
So,
No,
how
I
many
will be not
projects?
discussing serverless, Gufran, because this goes to the developer level then. Okay,
Hi, Imran.
you will
Hello.
get class recording. Just a moment. Yes, you will get class recording. Can I go for some experience after completion of this course? All right, no comments. Okay, the tools, Jenkins, Ansible, Docker, Cube, that will be covered in the course. Yes, I have just shown you that. You don't need any prior knowledge for this one. Bash scripting is we are covering so you learn automation at the OS level, and also you gain some programming scripting experience. This microservice part has been covered in this course. See, microservice is the architectural design for the developers. It doesn't matter for you it's microservice or monolithic. You just basically have a service that you have to containerize, and that I will show you.
Hey, Imran, how many projects we are covering in this training?
How many projects? It's not how many projects, it's one product that we are taking and we are implementing it in a different styles.
Okay.
Hi, Imran.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah,
Yes.
Rishi here, Imran. I have been working with HP since it's accounts and finance background. So will it be helpful to me? So if I learn DevOps, since I'm a fresher to this uh, field. So will
Yeah,
it be
see,
helpful for me?
this question that you have and many other people will be having similar question, I always give this answer. I am not going to decide what you will be doing. Okay, you have to make up your mind. Okay, I've shown you what is DevOps, right? What is the scale of it, why it is popular
Okay,
and stuff, right? See, I will always say, do DevOps, right? Because I am myself a DevOps, right? So I will always favor DevOps. But ultimately, you need to make decisions, right? Yes, there's a good market, great market. If you have good skills, you don't need to be an expert. See, everybody in DevOps comes from different background. Okay, nobody was born with the DevOps skills, right? You have developers in DevOps, you have testers in DevOps, you have people from finance, HR. I have trained people from many different job roles. Okay, chef, dancers, okay, business analyst. Someone said, right? I have a friend business analyst who I trained personally in DevOps. So you could be from different background, and the reason people join this course especially is because I cover from the very basics. So you don't
okay,
need to come with already some knowledge, some experience. You can be a total fresher, clean slate, and you can join, or you could be having some of your own experience,
sure, sure. Thank you, Imran.
right?
Thank you so much.
Ultimate decision, guys. Anybody having this question, I'm saying the same thing. You need to make the decision. I will always say
Uh,
DevOps is good and it's awesome.
Yeah, hi Imran, Narendra here. Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, Imran, my question is, if a person is having uh, some DevOps experience, not much, let's say for 1 to 2 years, so how this course will help him for the better experience?
See, for experience, it's always like this. This answer is also a little not direct, guma fira ke, as we say in Hindi. See, it's not about how long you worked, it's about how much you worked. So I don't know in 1 or 2 years what you did, right? There are people in for 5 years experience, they just used Jenkins and do build and release, and they say they are DevOps, right? uh, Even if you're very experienced, I think you are going to gain a lot in this course. Just look at the course content from the basics till the deployment on Kubernetes cluster. We are covering many parts. And if you already have experience in DevOps, I suggest you another course that I have created on Udemy, DevOps projects course. You can search it with my name and go through the content. If you feel that you can do it, go ahead, start it. If you think that okay, I need to learn more before I get into this, then you join this course and then you can do the DevOps projects course.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Imran.
I'm done.
Okay, one question, 1 second. I have one question. I want to answer that first. After this course completion, what certificate can attempt with this knowledge? See, this is not a certification course, right? If you want to go for certification, there is cloud certification in AWS and Kubernetes and many other certifications you have. The certification is for the tool. DevOps is not a tool. Okay, it's a concept, it's a philosophy where you have many tools and technologies. So certification will be on the tools and technology, right? So after this course, if you want to do any certification, I'll suggest you which is good for you. The last session that we will be having is going to be about that only. I'm former student of this. I know Gufran, I remember you very well.
Imran, hello.
DevOps in AWS and Azure are same. Well, DevOps is same anywhere you go. It's just which cloud environment you use and what services. AWS DevOps means you're going to use AWS services to do DevOps, and Azure DevOps means you're going to use Azure services to do DevOps. Hi Imran, how do we get certification? The course completion. There is no course completion certification. Doesn't really matter. Okay, the certification is given by an authorized party who approves that tools and certificate, right? And nobody can give certification on DevOps if they are, because DevOps is not a tool. Once again, okay, if I give you some certificate, it will be of no use. Do AWS certified solution architect. Being said that, we can give you certificate. Okay, no problem with that. Do AWS the certified solution architect associate certificate required in order to get a job on DevOps? It's not mandatory to do a certification, but certification, we do certification to just show. See, I am doing certification because I'm a trainer and consultant. So I need to showcase, hey, I'm certified in this area. You can trust me like that, right? Because I work with different people. You should do certification if you don't have experience to back up. No, you don't have any DevOps experience. So the certifications gives some authority has given you, hey, this guy's certified and he can do this, right? So I think you should do certification, but it's not restrict yourself that only this certification I want to do. Okay, you have many different, your Kubernetes certification, you have Azure certification, GCP, AWS, many certification.
So Imran, this
Yeah,
course will be daily basis or training or
daily, weekdays.
means weekdays or weekend?
No weekends, weekdays.
Weekdays. Okay.
Okay,
And
there will be some
like
Saturdays we'll be taking the course, but it will be some, not every Saturday.
and one more thing is in you shown that in that there is GitHub is also covered, right?
Yes.
Sir, is there is any coding knowledge do we need for DevOps and writing scriptings?
You don't need any coding knowledge to join this course, but in DevOps, you should have some programming knowledge. Okay. In this course, we are covering Bash and Python scripting. So those basics of scripting will be covered.
Particularly in terms of while working real time, do we need to write pages of or lines of scriptings?
Mostly not, but see, whatever tools and technologies that you will be using to do automation will be based on the programming knowledge only. So what today you may think is a program, is a script, is actually not. Like for example, YAML, Ansible playbooks we write in YAML format. Hundreds of lines of code you are going to write in the course itself, right? But that's not actually the programming. That's just a template. Okay, so I think it will be very early for you to understand what is a script and what is a template and what is a programming. But in real time, mostly we use tools and less of scripts in today's time, I'm saying, right? But you should, that being said, doesn't mean that you should totally avoid programming or scripting. Okay, you need to know some programming and scripting, and that's why we are covering in this course.
Hello, Imran. Hello.
Yes, hello.
Yeah. Hi. To what extent the tools will be covered, like Ansible, Kubernetes, or Jenkins? In what extents, if you are very new to this?
I have given that in the course content. This slides that you're seeing right now. So I'll send it to you. You can go through it. Just give me a
Okay.
moment. I'm getting a call. This might be urgent. Just a moment. Yeah, I think I need to leave now in a few minutes. Yeah, quickly.
For example, if I need to do the KCA certification for Kubernetes, is the course content will be enough to attend that certification?
No, I already said that I'm saying this the third time. This course is not a certification course. And by the way, it's not KCA, it's CKA.
Okay. It's like that needs to be separately learned, right? If we need to
Yes.
go for the certificate. Okay.
Certification questions and will be very, what do you say? Not much of real time, right? But yeah, CKA is a good exam that I have given. It's a good performance based exam, and you need to do a separate course for that. That is for Kubernetes administrator. Okay, if you want to be a Kubernetes administrator, then we do that certification.
Okay.
I'm done. I have a question for you. So
Student
I'm
after
I'm a
completing this
developer.
course, and you will give placement. Well, I'm just giving the training, but we do have very many requirements for placement and interviews. If you are good, we'll definitely push your resume. Does project explain the course help us to put in the CV? Or you can talk about that this is kind of work that I do, this kind of project that I do, but vProfile is not an actual product, right? But yeah, many people put that in the resume also because now it's quite popular. When will be the batch starting from? Probably after a week. Okay, as a full stack developer, how this course is going to help me? Well, that's up to you to decide whether you want to be a full stack developer or you want to be a DevOps or you want to be both. Okay, this is a complete DevOps course, so you need to spend a lot of time in this, and you may also switch from full stack to DevOps or maybe both. How much time required to complete training? And so it's gonna be around 2 months. You make interviews? What? You make interviews for this course? What does that mean? I'm blockchain developer. Do I'm downgrading myself if I'm switching to DevOps or SRE engineer? Come on, man, you are insulting us. Why will you downgrade yourself if you be a DevOps? I mean, again, it's up to you to decide. But see, don't switch the career just because someone told you this is good, that is good, that gives you good money or that money, right? You follow your instincts, right? If you love blockchain development, do it. If you don't like it, maybe do something else, right? But don't make career switch like that, and just like that. If you're not liking what you're doing, leave that. That's what I always say, right? I was not liking just doing system administration, so I started doing automation. Then I wanted to do more, so I entered into DevOps. I want to do more cloud computing. I entered into cloud computing. So follow your instinct. It will lead you right. Okay, but don't switch your career just because something is getting popular and hyped, right? Make proper decision. This kind of question actually you should not ask to anybody, right? If you ask some question like this to a cloud engineer, he'll say, yeah, switch, it's awesome, it's amazing. You ask to DevOps, he'll say, yeah, this is amazing, you should switch to DevOps. So everybody will boast about their own area where they're working in, right? You should make these decisions. Students would like to shift my careers. Do I need to know Java and .NET languages apart from Shell? No, you don't need to know those programming languages, Java, .NET, Ruby, PHP. I mean, if you know, it's fine. If you don't know, it's not a hard and fast requirement that you should know. We are not going to develop a product by using Java or .NET. Okay, we are developing an automation framework. Right? Can I work as an intern under you on some project? That depends on how you perform in this course. Okay, if you are a fresher, then come to Visualpath office. We do have placement or corporate batches, and I do take interns if you're good in the class. Okay, so contact office and tell them that's what you want. So come and join and prove yourself and work with me. I have interns. Can you please speak a few words about the project involved in this course? Late. Okay, we will be doing once the course starts. Okay, what will the timing, as this course is on weekdays? Right, this is gonna be I think 7 a.m. So the timing and everything will be given to you by Malti. And I'm so sorry, guys. Actually, I have to leave now, but I'll take all your questions in the first day of the class. Or if you have any more questions or anything that I missed, send an email. Malti will send it to me and I can respond it back. Okay. I'm dealing with a little medical scene over here in my family, so, and I need to leave now. Okay, so sorry, but I'll take all your questions in the next class when it starts. And thank you very much for joining. Hopefully I'll see you in the class. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you, Imran.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.